I'm pissed off. Indoor sunglasses engaged! What's going on, lovely people of the internet? Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today we're talking about BBIG stock, and quite frankly, I am just so disgusted and so pissed off by this manipulation that we're seeing. And usually I'm not one to just go blame manipulation. That's not what I like to do. But in the case of BBIG, I've just grown so close to home with this stock. I've been holding it. I've been following this trend. I know this stock so well, guys. I know this stock so well. And the fact that I'm seeing this in plain daylight, it's so annoying. We had another new high of dark pool volume today, percentage of total volume. Threshold security, meaning that they're failing to deliver the stock, meaning that you and me, people that are buying this stock, aren't actually receiving the stock that they're owed. Market makers aren't actually buying it off the open market. They're just kind of saying that you got your share. It's an IOU. They'll buy it back later. It's absolutely because the share price is sitting pretty right above $3 per share, which isn't even a super high share price with all things considered, considering where this thing has been. Yet they're using historically high amounts of manipulation via the dark pool, via the threshold security list with all the failure to delivers to pin this thing down. And it's not even at a high share price. So I am so pissed. 67.09% off exchange volume, and as you guys can see, we're up from 40% just the other day to 67% off exchange volume. This has been absolutely spiking up to new highs each and every single day this week. Is the Wyckoff still intact? If we had a bounce today at market open, I would have said that we were, but you are seeing that it did dump off today before a nice little recovery right there. Now, is it intact? Probably not. Now, I do have some type of speculation that they're using this Wyckoff chart against us. Obviously, that if you are a hedge fund heavily invested in BBIG stock, you're probably paying attention to retail. So I assume there's probably someone from Hudson Bay that's required, and I'm sorry for you that you have to do this. You have to sit through me screaming like an absolute degenerate, but there's probably someone required to figure out what retail investors' strategies are, which is why I think that they might be screwing with it a little bit extra now that this Wyckoff is here, but I can sit back and blame manipulation all I want. What I'm really looking for is, again, that spike up in implied volatility for April 14th. This will try to trap as many people as possible using technical analysis, using normal price action. But what we have to our advantage here is the fact that in January, we had a very similar juiced option chain. It absolutely ripped, and it went up to a peak of almost 300% implied volatility on the implied volatility index. Right now, we're still sitting at 170%. So up until the point where we do get a spike up implied volatility, holding is the way to go. So the Wyckoff definitely predicted the move in phase D, which is the move after the spring, all the way up to 350 right there. But what it's doing right now, obviously, is not following a Wyckoff method, and I'm just gonna stop looking at it. What's up, everyone? Hootmoney from the future. We did get a new SEC filing for BBIG. It was a late notice of the Form 10K. So as you guys can see, NT 10K, late filing notice. Essentially what they're saying is that they can't file for their earnings on time this quarter, and that they're going to delay the release of their quarterly results. They did the exact same thing last quarter. As you guys can see, after hours, we are moving down, but as long as we hold this trend line, I don't know if I already talked about it in the video yet, we should be pretty good. Overall, I am seeing a repeating pattern here where we get that obvious spike up. It gets driven down by huge amounts of dark pool volume, blah, blah, blah. We get put on the exchange list. It consolidates a little bit, right? And then it dips down. That's a spring. Similar thing right here. Comes right back up. It consolidates a little bit. Spike up. Boom. Doing the exact same thing as it did before over in this area. So it comes right back down, right? It consolidates a little bit. Boom. Spikes down. Spring. Now it's probably going to consolidate a little bit, right? And then potentially we could get our next leg up after that. But I don't know if it's going to end up being super perfect, just like I explained to you guys. Just like the Wyckoff pattern doesn't exactly perfectly come into fruition like you think it should, neither will this one. So it's not going to be easy, but that is the pattern that I am at least recognizing right now. Also, definitely put this new trend line on your chart, starting back here with the bottom price action, moving it to the spring price action. You can even draw a ray. So make sure you have the ray selected there, and then you can draw it from the bottom of the price action, connect the dots to this price action, the bottom of the spring right there, and now you guys can see there is a diagonal support line, and this is precisely where we did bounce as of this morning. I'd like to briefly thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Moomoo, a licensed FINRA broker that does absolutely zero payment for order flow. As you guys can see, if you deposit $1 on their platform, you get 1 free share of NEO stock, which is currently about $21 per share. So free $21 off the bat, free lunch on Hootmoney. However, this deal ends today, March 31st, 2022. So tomorrow, you're no longer going to get your free lunch on Hootmoney. You're no longer going to get your free NEO share. Those links are below in the description and pinned comment section if you want to check it out. Again, guys, only today left on this offer for free NEO share. You also get 2 free stocks valued up to $3,500 each, so up to $7,000 total with this promotion. And again, all you have to do is deposit $1 on their platform. Links are below in the description or pinned comment section to check it out. But with that being said, let's get right back into the video. Looking at market cipher, we're still looking fantastic on the 2-week chart. As you guys can see, we did get the green dot as of the recent 2 weeks, which could lead to a longer term uptrend. Last time this happened was in January of 2021, and as you guys can see, BBIG throughout the year of 2021 was in an uptrend until selling off right back down to its previous values, but it did leave opportunity for making money on that 2-week green dot that we have right now. Weekly chart, we also got a nice green dot. That was as of last week. Same thing happened back here in January before the big gamma squeeze. Daily chart right here is showing that we are slightly overbought, but it could remain overbought potentially. We did get the same thing right here. It was a red dot on March 28th. March 29th, boom, we got a spike up. The spring was the red dot, so it was a big time bear trap right there with that spring. So be careful pushing for that. 4-hour chart is looking very good. We flipped to a green Heikin-Ashi candle, which is the first sign of a good news, and we are looking good on market cipher as well, with the VWAP pointing up very aggressively, money flow coming right back up as well. And then the hourly chart as well does appear like we do have some more upside. Obviously, we're on a negative blue wave. Last signal was a green means to go buy signal right there. VWAP is remaining flat, which is not the best signal, but overall these signals are pointing in the upwards direction. The Ortex data is still crazy. We did get an excess of return shares than borrowed shares, meaning that, well, longs are winning this fight right now. 2 days ago, we saw a very aggressive rise in price. We also saw an excess of return shares than borrowed shares, so short sellers probably covered on that big spike. 300% cost to borrow, absolutely insane right there. There is a very large excess of shares on loan to the estimated short interest. This goes up a lot, guys. 27 million short interest, 44 million shares on loan, in excess of about 17 million shares right there. So that is something to be concerned of. Seriously, that is a risk. This is how they are going to get you. This is how they are going to manipulate this Ortex data. They can drive down this cost to borrow from 307% to 30% overnight with these excess shares on loan. They will give more ammo to short sellers just like that. That is something that needs to be paid attention to. We're ranked number 21 on the short squeeze leaderboard, meaning that there is potential for more upside. Usually once you're in that top 5, top 10, the room for potential upside does diminish. It is a law of diminishing returns. So being at 21 definitely leaves us some room for some upside. Number 14 as well on the gamma squeeze leaderboard with a 99.65 score. That's pretty apparent. That's pretty obvious. obvious. Barely any shares available to short according to Fintel, 150,000 right there, and they have the cost to borrow at a 148%. Absolutely insane. Slightly down from yesterday at 164%. Short volume ratio chilling at 50%. That's pretty normal. We've seen that each and every single day. It's actually slightly down from where it was this time last week. And then we have obviously the failure to delivers. We only have the data from February, nothing yet from March. Then obviously that dark pool volume that's gone up to the absolute roof. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't get how they're getting away with 67% off exchange volume when the past 30 days it was 51% on average. 51% is still very, very high. And keep in mind, all of these other colors down here, these are graphs of the volume on other exchanges. As you guys can see, NASDAQ, which is the exchange that we want to route our orders to, it has been coming down, right? It went from 20%, now it's at 10%. So only 10% of the volume is actually being traded on NASDAQ, and 67% of the volume is off exchange. We are seeing huge swings away from NASDAQ and into the dark pool because they need to control this price. They're price controlling this. This is not retail moving BBIG. Here are the biggest option trades of the day. As you guys can see, a lot of calls were sold today. However, a big bulk of the premium was $382,000 into selling of a put option, $5 expiring tomorrow, April 1st. So this is pretty good for our squeeze, but this does expire tomorrow. I don't know how this floor trader knew that, BBIG's share price would go up, because as you guys can see, it wasn't really placed at the best time. It was placed right here. They sold the put at $3.13. The share price declined to $2.97 at the bottom today. And obviously they would have lost money on that put option, right? If they sold the put option, the buyers of the put option would have gone up in value as the stock price declined. And this is mostly intrinsic value, as it's very deep in the money and it expires tomorrow, so there's not much time. So the person who sold that put right here, they definitely lost money for a good majority of the day. No signs that they bought it back, and then later in the day, now we're magically above that value. I don't want to say it's insider trading, but it might be insider trading. I mean, this is such an incredibly risky weekly bet, and it was for $382,000 worth of premium, and it was a floor trader transacted in a non-electronic order book. I don't know. Something sketchy about that one, but it happened. We're seeing more divergence for the first time on this stock from call option volume to the share price. We saw another low in call option volume today. And obviously, you can see this stock has been trending up over the past week or so. So call option volume has been trending down, but the share price has been trending up. This is really the first time that we've ever seen this on BBIG. We also have implied volatility at 170%. Peak gamma squeeze, this is easily going over 200%, most likely above 250%. So we're definitely not seeing a gamma squeeze. Obviously, there's going to be a spike up in implied volatility. Once there is a gamma squeeze, we'll also see that spike up in call option volume, and obviously a spike up in share price. Max pain for April 1st, 2022 is $3 per share. This could potentially be a reason why this did spike below $3 briefly today. It could have been potentially a bear trap right there, trying to get people to sell out of their call options, take losses on all of that preemptively. This does put pressure to have market makers bring the share price below $3 per share, but as you guys can see, market makers are going to play both sides, as we did end up finishing the day green, up 3%, and we spiked up pretty dramatically there. And then here's your daily reminder: stop betting on weekly options. As you guys can see, they're the most expensive by far. They have the highest volatility skew. It's honestly, if you want to bet on this short term, I definitely think it's better to at least go for the Julys. It's such a lower implied volatility. You're going to lose so much less to theta. At this point, even if you're playing it for the April 14th squeeze, I just think it's better to go for the Julys, just based off of the value of the option. Anyways, my friends, that's about it for the video. Overall, I'm just pissed off. Our stock price would be so much higher if there wasn't this monkey business. business. It makes no sense. I mean, I am just mind blown looking at the dark pool numbers alone. It's gone up so much over the past week. Almost 30% increase in like less than a week in terms of the dark pool volume. It's crazy. That coinciding with the fact that we are back on the threshold list and we're seeing such obvious bear trap, bull traps left and right. It just pisses me off. And this is why I'm not going to ignore it and move on. I understand AMC and GameStop shareholders have been dealing with this thing for years. And I apologize if I have not shown you guys the empathy that you guys deserve. But this is seriously just so fucked up. And I just can't get over it. It took a while for me to understand this conviction. It took loads and loads of research to truly grasp this problem and see why it's such a huge problem. But it's there, guys. It's there. And I promise you, the corruption in this stock market's not going to end unless we do something about it. The bare minimum for what we can do about it is to stop using payment for order flow platforms such as Robinhood, such as Webull. We can also do things such as directly route our orders to the exchanges, directly to NASDAQ themselves, rather than sending it through an automatic routing system that's likely going to route your order to the dark pool. But overall, that's just a few steps that can help us solve this issue. We're gonna have to vote on it, and it's gonna have to be an actual political issue. Trust me, I spent 2 years in undergrad studying financial markets, and then I got a master's degree, which was an extra year where I basically became somewhat of a professional like finance person. I know it doesn't look like it, but I've got a master's degree in finance. Dark pools don't make any sense. Dark pools are not a free, efficient market. Dark pools need to go. There should not be any dark pools. There should not be any failure to delivers. When big money loses, they can't just cheat and bend the rules so that they win. It pisses me the fuck off. And I apologize. It's taken me so long to recognize this fraud and have empathy for people that have suffered from this fraud. But feeling it myself, feeling the pain myself, seeing it in plain sight in front of my eyes is the kicker to this. And now we've got another ape on the board, baby. Hootmoney's an ape. Let's go. But anyways, I'm still obviously bullish on the gamma squeeze for BBIG. I still totally see some more upside in this stock, but understand this is bigger than a quick pump up in your money. There eventually will be some legit catalyst that could send an absolute parabolic short squeeze SPRT style, such as the tyde dividend and the merger with Zash. Now, management hasn't been the best at delivering updates on those two events, but eventually when it does happen, it's gonna be a kicker. So we'll definitely be looking out for those events as well. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you guys did. Subscribe to the channel if y'all are new here. Check out Moomoo if you want up to $7,000 in free stock, plus the last day to claim your free Neo share, or you're simply leaving $20 on the table. Links are below in the description or pinned comment section if you want to check out Moomoo. Also, Hootmoney trade alerts were up over 200% since I opened my trading account. That is the first link in the description below. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.